Welcome back to Beyond the Beyond, and now... Oh, right. Go ahead, Mom.
Hey, sweetheart, why don't you go play out in the yard?
But I want to see your magnum opus.
Not yet, sweetie. Or maybe we will get to see my magnum opus. Woman washes dishes.
No, unfortunately, I'm not going to do that again, because I've already done plenty of it, I think.
No, there we go. Woman washes dishes.
There we are. Yeah, again, it's still got. There's still nothing on my masterpiece, the Chocolate Trilogy.
What's that?
During our commentary of the No Country for Old Men,
Oh.
Look at the faucet.
it's such
Also, look
a.
at the fact that those dishes are not getting cleaned, despite the fact they bothered to make the character model animated so that it would clean the dishes.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, Shiroi, like I said in the last part, Shiroi, this is a metaphor for how she cannot ever escape the rut that is her life.
I mean, I guess this is a bit of a big moral high ground that we have to ask ourselves. Is it in our rights to judge that which we normally would not be able to see without debug mode? Are we nitpickers? Or are we truly actually showing that there's laziness at work here?
I've got a better one.
Go ahead.
How long does she manage to do that without her fingers getting cold?
I give her 18.
Alright, now we're going to see her get dressed. Oh, there you go.
Whoa.
And she went into her T-pose for a second there.
You know what's
Well, to
sad
be
is
fair,
that?
with that one, we're actually not meant to see that, whereas with the mother, she's kind of there and you can see her.
Actually, no, Shiroi. In-game, in the actual full game, even if you try your best to lean the camera into her dish, you can never do it because the camera is very limited in this game.
You know
Okay.
what's weird with all the way those cuts were, Pedro?
What?
That's actually a way that some movies sort of, montage it like, boop, 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 boop.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Anyway, Shiroi, actually not Shiroi. For anybody in the audience who doesn't know, the reason Jodie was was standing like with her arms in a T pose. That's because that's exactly what it is. It's the T pose. If for those who don't know, whenever
We covered this in part 2, I believe, during the party when all the teenagers.
Oh
were
yeah,
in
you're right.
T
Actually,
poses.
oh yeah, you're right. Actually, never mind. All right, so let's check out what we can find in the yard because it's not like I care about the plot. Let's see what we can find. Oh look, a deer with lights. Let's pull them out.
And
Mommy,
Hey,
do
Dwebs!
you know what
Hey,
else-
Dwebs!
Yeah. Football.
Ball. Well, I do. There you go. Haha. See, Dwebs? I
Where'd it
scored.
go? But where?
I scored.
guys.
Just take my word for it.
Pixar didn't happen.
And look at that. We can literally make a snow sculpture of Jodie.
Oh, hi, me.
Mark an Iceman, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Iceman.
Yes, Bobby, an Iceman.
Oh boy, this scene. Alright, Dwebs, you're about to see another, like I said in the previous part, Dwebs, David Cage's trick for making us like Jodie is make everybody else around her a fucking evil asshole. And this is yet another example of this. And again, remember, you know how in the party chapter, everybody, all the teenagers were being fairly nice to us, and then all of a sudden they suddenly flip-flop and became completely different characters and decided to basically become evil people who lock people in closets? Well, this is going to be happen again. Except with these kids. And it's going to be even dumber, sadly.
Yeah, it's actually worse.
I love how he just got animated to be hit in the head with a snowball, even though there was no actual snowball going in his direction.
Well, Pedro, your direction is astounding.
It is, isn't it? Behold how the kids play in the grass, completely unaware of the issues of the outside world. You see, Dwebs, this is my exploration of childhood innocence.
It's still nothing on the trials and tribulations of eating chocolate.
You have a chocolate obsession. Actually, Jodie, I don't know.
love that trial opening thing.
I don't know, Jodie. I think it's very possible for her to know quote unquote. But okay.
I know.
Yeah, I know I'm the best. And of course, we have to do this. We have to do every single step because apparently that's immersive.
So I guess the director of this game is Aiden Pierce.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, Aiden Pierce, after Watch Dogs 1 was a bit of a disappointment, he decided to become a game director.
Alright.
Also, the kid kind of popped over there and then popped back.
Hey guys,
What?
how much you want to bet that with this debug mode we'll actually be able to see Aiden's face at the end?
Just you wait, Jova. We will.
I get the feeling I've called something. Oh boy.
Alright. We can look forward to the finale when we get to that. Anyway, so
Let
yeah.
me guess. It's a completely bland face, or it's David Cage, all or nothing.
No, it's a Slender Man face.
As we saw in the normal playthrough, we can usually in the game we're just supposed to play snowmen with them. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep showing off my directorial skills, and because of that, since the controls also affect Jodie, she's now basically going really away and she's not doing anything, even though the kids just invited her to play snow. And it's going to make what the scene that's going to happen even more stupid. Hey Jodie, you want to join in? No?
No? Okay.
Oh no, she just barred into an invisible wall and disappeared back into the place where David Cage wants her to be. Oh, here we go. And now this kid decides to fucking murder her!
Yeah, quite literally.
I mean, look at this. Well, you flip-flopped, didn't you? Like, seriously, what kind...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure shit like this doesn't just happen.
Wait, we could kill the kid?
We can try, but it won't happen because David won't let us.
What the fuck?
I find your lack of faith disturbing. And now, guess what, Whips? Even though the kid obviously has no idea what the hell just happened.
Let me guess, he's still gonna try and kill Jodie.
No, but he's gonna blame her. He's gonna say that she nearly killed you. What are you talking about? As far as you can tell, you were just having some kind of respiratory problems. How do you know?
You know what sucks?
What?
The fact that we don't have any other choice but to eventually choke the kid.
And the dad's obviously gonna believe him because he's the asshole.
Of course. That's the thing, Shiro. As we're about to learn... Well, actually, we learned in the previous part, actually. Like,
seriously,
they're the foster parents, so they don't...
Yeah.
So obviously they don't have the same kind of love normal parents would have.
Seriously though, you'd think that we'd have an option of whether or not we want to choke the kid, but then again, considering how this is one of those plot crucial moments that, you know, sort of decides one of the moments, of course it has to be that the kid gets choked.
This is one of the laziest...
Was he gonna punch you?
Yeah, he was gonna slap her.
Okay, I mean, a slap on the wrist, you know, that's one thing, but...
Yeah, but he was going to outright whack her.
Remember, Dwebs, this is David Cage's lazy writing trick. He wants you to like Jodie on account of the fact that everybody else is an asshole.
Hey, by the way, my adoptive parents were mean to me. I thought I should mention that, even though we have scenes of them being good. They were totally mean, by the way. Here's a scene.
And Jodie, is the guy bipolar?
Well, funny you mention that, Dwebs. Remember, what we're watching is technically Jodie's memories, as per the narration. So this is, remember, we're seeing this through Jodie's perspective of things. For all we know, she's just someone who views the world in an incredibly warped way.
Let's follow Mom, see where she goes.
You're following her breasts.
And her butt.
Wait, she disappeared.
Seriously, Pedro, it's like you were zooming in on her breasts and butt.
Yes.
You tried to...
That was me, going, well, if Michael Bay can do it, why can I?
She's just a little girl.
You've seen what you can do, right? Susan, that's no little girl. Susan, that's a monster.
Hey, Dwebs, are you ready to start liking Jodie now? Just because of the fact that she's not an evil asshole?
No.
Well, actually, as we I think most of us have already said this, but everything that happens surrounding childhood Jodie is actually a lot more interesting than adult Jodie and teenage Jodie.
True, but this is definitely not one of those, because seriously, this is... The writing in this chapter is some of the worst in the entire game, if you ask me.
And it's cliche.
Yeah.
We don't understand her, therefore she's a monster.
Well, should we give her away to the government? We have no choice.
Well, that's
Let's
what...
seal her underground.
That's what they're gonna do.
You
They're gonna
know,
give her to Nathan and shit.
You know, David Cage, X-Men. That's all I'm gonna say. X-Men does everything that you're trying to do. Has done everything you're trying to do. Probably will do everything that you will ever try.
Oh my god, Dwebs.
With your stories.
I just pictured it now with what Joe just said. A movie adaptation of Beyond Two Souls, directed by Bryan Singer.
No, guys, imagine. It makes sense now.
Maybe better than this movie.
Children being given away to the...
You mean game?
It makes sense now, guys. Mutants, kids being given away to the government, Ellen Page, X-Men.
Yeah.
I mean, I know nowadays for some reason people scream in terror when Bryan Singer's mentioned just because X-Men Apocalypse weren't all that great, but still.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Even though we do slip up a lot by calling, movies games and games movies, you can be forgiven for calling this a movie.
Okay, guys. In the original playthrough, eventually we get to a point where the camera switches to the parents, and we just hear her being attacked by the spirits. You know, we know she's being attacked by spirits because of the noises and all that, and the marks that she'll get on her body because of it. But we don't actually see it. My guess is for the sake of implying. And for the sake of you being able to imagine in your head exactly what's going on, because that's fine. That's it's a common thing to do for directors. But however, thanks to the free camera, we're going to see exactly what happens in this room. And of course,
also,
there'll be
is soulless.
Yes, but don't you see? But it's adorable, Shiroi. Come on, don't you want one?
No, it's not.
Look at it, Shiroi. Look at it. Just look at it. Isn't he wonderful?
No.
It's,
Look at their shadows. Yes, Jova, what is it?
I guess it's a borderline, pretty much basic cute.
There you go,
Depends on what
Shiroi. It's basic cute. Whatever the hell that means.
So basically, Pedro, when you press L1, he kind of levitates a bit into the air.
No, it's I'm supposed to press both the L1 and then after that the R1 buttons to squeeze the bunny. But I'm not doing it because it's hilarious this way. Nah.
I'm bored.
Yeah, she's incredibly bored.
Nah. Alright. Let's move on.
And no.
So what next, Jody? Oh, here we go. See what's a bit attacked. Let's see. Oh, we actually see her get ready. And there you go. This is the point where we're not supposed to be looking at this right now, so obviously all we see is the kid doing this. So she's not actually being attacked. So she magically gains her marks on the body.
The facial expression when Child Jodie is scared is the stuff of nightmares.
Mm-hmm. Again, granted, I'm just showing off as a rare curiosity, audience. I'm not saying that the game is bad because of it, because like I said, in the normal game, we don't actually see any of what happens in this bedroom while it's happening, so obviously we can just assume it happened because of the marks there.
This is just a fun... Well, I say fun. This is a thing we're doing.
I don't know, Shiroi. I find this game to be incredibly fun with the free camera because I've been able to do a lot of stuff that's really fun. Like Dibs just said, I've been able to show off my directing. Oh
anyway,
boy.
There are a lot of legitimate reasons that this game is bad without the debug mode.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is usually... Prepare yourself to this, because this is the chapter where the game officially jumps the shark. Don't get me wrong, it's been bad before up until this point. But this is where most people officially went, what? Seriously? And and Nathan is about to explain. There we go.
Okay. Let me...
The infra world?
Okay, now, Dwib, Shiroi, tell me if this reminds you of any other plot you've heard before. There is a parallel universe with ghosts, and it's being held in a science research facility of certain sorts, and there's a condenser.
Doctor Who?
With ghosts.
Well, there are ghosts in it sometimes.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're doing interdimensional spirits.
Also, not only that, it's a containment universe for ghosts. Where else have we heard that from?
Ghostbusters?
Okay,
Close enough.
don't get me wrong. We knew right from the beginning when this game was announced that it was going to have paranormal elements. That's okay. However, we were told that she had a ghost friend, and that she was going to have trouble as a misfit and all that stuff, and that's fine. The problem is that starting with this chapter, the game introduces this new thing about these interdimensional spirits, and where scientists are trying to discover the quote-unquote infra-world. Yes, that's the name David Cage went with. And now suddenly these interdimensional spirits have entered through a rift and they're going to destroy the world or some shit. Yeah, this is where the game officially... This is where we officially entered into a completely different game. Because, again, don't get me wrong, yes, I get it. This was meant to have paranormal elements to it, that's fine. But this is not
Also,
this is not what was advertised to us in the trailers at all.
And that's just the stupidity of the concept. Cole summed it up well. This is crazy. You can't send her in there alone. Yeah. Now, okay, we talked about how this concept in itself is stupid. Let's start off with what they actually do in the execution that's stupid. First of all, they're sending Jody in alone. Unattended.
Yes.
In a...
You see, Dips. As you're about to see earlier, this is actually going to turn out to be basically be a Half-Life ripoff. Later. I meant later.
Now, see, here's
Wow,
the
this really is time travel.
Now, see, here's the thing. Anyone who's played, the way this game originally goes, technically, chronologically, go with all the mixed messages. Well, okay, either way, you should know that at this point, Jodie has not received any of her high top-secret training from the CIA.
Yeah, this is before the CIA thing.
Why are they sending her in here unattended? I mean, okay, look, I know she has the special item thing, but even still, it takes someone with, I don't know, experience out in the field for something like this.
I agree.
This is like if you sent this is like if Charles Xavier decided to send in some of his students without proper training. Just because you have powers does not mean you're automatically equipped for it.
Remind me again, Dubs, if I'm not mistaken, Ellen in X-Men plays Jubilee, doesn't she? Or no?
No,
No.
Pride.
No, that's a Kitty Pryde. That's a Kitty Pryde.
She's Kitty Pryde in X-Men 3 and X-Men Days of Future Past.
There you go. That's it.
Is she back in Apocalypse?
No, remember Jova.
Oh, right,
Apocalypse is set during the
takes place in
1980s.
So does Apocalypse establish how Logan ends up where he is at the end of Days of Future Past?
Not particular. Well, look, he's in there. He's only in there for like 30 seconds.
All right, so like I was saying, you'll see by the time this chapter is ended, because in fact, I might as well establish that first. All right, audience, in our original playthrough, I did my best to fail the chapter as soon as I could, just for the sake of us being able to move the fuck on, because this chapter is by far, if you ask me, the most boring one, because it's so long and so little happens in this thing. So for the sake of, however, like I said, that was in the original playthrough, and I want this playthrough to be as different as possible, so this time we're going to see the full chapter. And by the time we reach the end of this one, what you're going to see is basically a Half-Life ripoff. So basically, you know what? This is basically it. This is basically the Half-Life 3 that fans never got. This is it. This is the closest thing you're getting, and you'll enjoy it, I guess.
I guess.
Beautiful. So yeah, we had to throw in that thing under the bus. All right. And another thing that's also another big problem is that, yeah, the whole thing, this is the thing to us. We're about to find a fucking portal with interdimensional spirits. And we have to try our best to close it before the spirits come down and destroy everything.
Ghostbusters.
Like I said before, this is... seriously, David? I mean, this is not the same game we started out with.
I wouldn't be so annoyed with it being a blatant ripoff of Ghostbusters, because Ghostbusters is a cool concept. But it's the fact that he tries and acts like this whole thing is so original and stuff.
I wonder if someone's ever confronted Cage about this bit, and I wonder what he'd say.
Remember, that's the thing, Dibs.
Let's remember, David Cage had to contend with the fact that Beyond Two Souls was kind of his fall from fame after his rise with.
No, that's the thing. Actually, Joe, he never actually said any of that. But the thing is,
said anything? Oh no! I'm not saying he said anything. I'm just saying internally he has to deal with the fact that Beyond Two Souls caused a fall in fame right after Heavy Rain caused his rise of fame. Because, like, seriously, dudes. Look at NeoGAF forums, look at how people were hyping up Beyond Two Souls before, and then look at the reactions afterwards. Now, it's not as drastic as, say, a transition with Mighty Number 9's forums. Those are something else, but you can tell that after that, people are starting to realize that not everything this man touched turned to gold.
Not just that, but there's also the fact that even when confronted with the fact that Beyond didn't do so well at the reviews and didn't even sell as much as Heavy Rain, his reply is always the same standard reply that David Cage always gives. Oh, but don't you see, our games are so different, which is why a lot of people tend to attack us and stuff like that. I mean, usually, of course, we're never... basically, it's trying to talk about how people would rather play a violent game like GTA or Call of Duty and stuff like that. His usual shtick. This guy, the guy is so... this guy has no self-awareness at all. A brick has more self-awareness than David Cage.
Speaking of self-awareness, seriously, the jump scares.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. This is, okay, like, this is like Silent Hill.
Hey, Dibs, do me a favor.
Without...
Yeah?
Do me a favor, look at that mini fridge that you have over there near you.
Yeah?
That fridge has more self-awareness than David Cage.
Well, yeah, it's aware that it's got more stuff in it.
Yep.
Speaking of burning...
I'm burning! Alright, we're gonna get another jump scare, by the way. So, keep it there. We go. Oh, never mind.
Oh, he was alive, but then he just fell over.
He was like, ooh, actually, never mind.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going too hot.
Don't get much more lazier, do you?
Well, this entire seems like something out of a bad horror game.
Basically, in the full game, we're just supposed to see him rise, and then when she turns away, she doesn't actually see anything. So of course, I
know. I was speaking even in the context of how that scene originally went, because trust me, Pedro, the whole person turns around and all of a sudden, boom, that comes up stuff. That's something that needs to be earned, and I remember it well enough to know that no, the game did not earn.
There's a joke I could make right now, but I don't want to cause a time paradox.
Indeed. Otherwise, the Colonel will get mad at you.
I know.
Yeah.
No, oh right, yeah, the Colonel.
They're here.
True.
Stay close to me, okay?
An anemone or clematis plant's juice can cause a rash.
Oh,
when
I
pruning
hate
them,
this
it's a good idea to wear gloves.
I hate this section.
Yeah, we all do. In this chapter in general is such a bore. Like it's nothing but wandering around for the various things. There's not even that much that happens.
You can tell. You can so tell. He's trying to do what Silent Hill does. You know, try and build you up with the creepy atmosphere and slow tension stuff.
Silly Joker, that series is too violent.
You know,
the vent even looks like something out of like not Half-Life exactly, but Red Faction.
You know what? I'm gonna say it, guys. Resident Evil 6 is scarier than this game,
and that's sad. That's sad.
And that's the shit one.
Basically, Shiroi, the problem with Resident Evil 6 is that you have this co-op AI partner that always saves you no matter what happens. So any amount of tension that could possibly build in that game is instantly destroyed because the co-op partner is not only invincible, but he can always just save you from everything.
Which is weird.
I can understand that kind of thing in certain cases, but in a horror game, shouldn't you,
just play Resident Evil.
Have to deal with that shit on your own?
That's okay, Shiroi. That's exactly what Resident Evil 7 did.
To be fair, you can have survival horror stuff with a co-op partner. What matters is how you balance out the difficulty. Like, take a look at Last of Us. You occasionally have your co-op partners who help you.
With this music.
Lauren Balflips.
And heck, you know what's weird? It's like, well, they did co-op partners better with Resident Evil 5. Yeah, it was still rough around the edges, but there was potential. And yet, for some reason, Resident Evil 6... Well, also, I should probably mention, Shiroi, Resident Evil 6 is going to feature the return of one of your great pals from Final Fantasy 13, Hallways.
Mm-hmm.
Now look. Hallways aren't always a bad thing. Heck, Resident Evil 1 and 2 made great use of them. The fact is that it's also a linear venture. They made Resident Evil 6...
When you say hallways, do you mean like indie horror game hallway route kind of thing, or
the linear kind of hallway?
Oh boy!
Like think Final Fantasy 13.
Oh, sorry. This chapter's so boring. I actually keep falling asleep.
I know, Dwebs. Trust me. I'm right there with you. This chapter is so boring. However, here. Let me bring this up. So you can try to keep awake. Since you mentioned the music earlier, in case you forgot, the music of this game was done by Lauren Balfe with production by Hans Zimmer. Obviously, since those two love each other so much.
That's just going to make me fall even more asleep.
Also, Dwebs, to be fair, it's okay, because I think this was before you joined the group, but like this is one of the first games I ever did, and I did like nearly fall asleep during a couple of parts, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, I remember. This is back when you weren't fully a member, but but
he guest starred in
four cartridge.
He showed up as a guest in the mission chapter in our original playthrough, but
it was in during this, and I remember even he talked about how boring this was. And
it wasn't this one. I'll have to watch it again. It's been
this
a
was
long
part
time.
4 of our original playthrough. I don't know if we had to like record over that or something, but yeah, I remember. I recall. Because at the time he was talking about how Ace Attorney, another series he was new to, excited him more than this.
You know, for someone... Oh, of course.
Yeah?
And he dies.
Jump scare attempt, I guess.
Ooh, be scared, I guess.
No.
Alright, that didn't work. Let's try the other guy.
Then again, I like horror stuff, so things like that don't really faze me.
I'm Jody. I work with Professor Dawkins.
The entities. They invaded the laboratory. Creatures from the depths.
Creatures from the depths.
I wonder what he means by that.
It's working now. You should be able to get out.
Have you ever heard the rule, don't use elevators in emergencies?
You know, it's a pretty useful rule.
That's just the thing, Dwez. Remember, I'm still to this day convinced that David Cage never actually left his house. So I don't think he is even aware of how things work in the outside world.
How does he go to work for Quantum Dream then?
It's a hologram.
He has his servants carry him. See, my fear. Obviously, I don't know because there's no information out there on his own personal life and his upbringing. But my theory is that he was a rich kid who never had a normal childhood, and he's probably very spoiled and very sheltered, which is why he is the man that he is now.
He seems like the type, honestly.
Yeah, I'm absolutely... I have no proof of what I'm saying. I'm just guessing here, obviously. But honestly, it makes too much sense for it not to be true. Mm-hmm. If we do get a proper backstory and biography on him telling it, if it's not accurate to what I'm describing right now, I'm not even kidding. I would be literally jaw dropped by that.
What? Let's not forget the fact that he claims that he traveled to Detroit to get a good reading on it for his game, and yet for some reason they are lacking... Detroit, in his eyes, seems to lack a lot of black people, despite the fact that that's one of the few places that's predominantly filled with African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep...
At worst, it's just a joke.
Yeah, no.
That's not that. Dwebs is bored out of his fucking skull. That's basically what's happening.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Liz. We all are. This chapter is boring as fuck.
If any of you have, sure, if you have time after this, I want something more exciting.
As long as it's short, because I don't have too much time.
Yeah, sure. I'll find something short.
Well,
but yeah,
we just killed a man. Moving
how
on.
terrible this game is. Normally we do have a lot to talk about, but like even in the debug mode, we don't have much to say about this.
It's because this particular chapter doesn't have that much going on, even behind the scenes. And by behind the scenes, I mean behind all of the walls and stuff like that.
It's like the developers knew this chapter was going to be boring because, believe it or not, this is a chapter you can choose to end early, as you have seen from our original playthrough.
Yeah,
Are you going to end this one early, or are you going
No, because remember, Shiroi, I'm trying to keep this as different as possible. So this time we're going to go all the way. Oh my God! The room, it's Indigo Prophecy all over again. No. Yeah, seriously, what is up with David Cage and a room full of things trying to kill us?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he released his own autobiography in the form of a game. That would be interesting.
Yeah, Shiroi, he'll make a new story where you play as David Cage, and David Cage is of course the Gary Stu character.
And Ellen Page is the love interest.
Of course. Sadly, he can't. Well, actually, sadly, since she revealed herself to be part of your team, unfortunately, now he can't do that anymore. Sadly. So now, David Cage now has to I'm absolutely convinced that now, ever since Ellen Page came out as a lesbian, I'm pretty sure right now every single time he's gonna go to bed, he cries himself to sleep that he cannot be with Ellen Page now.
I bet he has a shrine in his room to her or some shit.
Yes. Well, obviously, that's the thing. Remember the scrapbook. He does have his mini Ellen Page shrine. It's actually confirmed. Remember?
Yep. Like, can somebody? This would be interesting. Could somebody make a David Cage simulator? Like on Steam.
Oh, it would be him in Quantic Dream, constantly forcing emotions on people.
Oh my gosh, David Cage and Ni no Kuni.
No, please, no.
I think I recall asking Pedro that question, and he said that if David Cage somehow took over level 5, he'd go prepared with ammunitions.
Yes, I'll personally, I'll be like, that's okay because I know level 5's address in Fukuzawa. Road trip.
I will join you on that road trip.
I can see that right now.
I'll pass by the UK to grab Dwebs and Shiroi.
Hey,
Dwebs, you could be the getaway driver.
And then I guess I join in, and then we have a fun little live stream called "Squirm Goes to Level 5."
And then I behead David Cage, and then I get out of the into the street with his head in my people, you are free.
I know the.
For the record, everybody, we're just joking here. We have nothing against. I have nothing against David Cage as a person. For all I know, he's a really nice guy. I have my doubts, but for all I know, he is.
We just hate his work.
It's not. It's not.
Hold on, guys. Zombie time.
The only thing I have against David Cage as a person is his views and how harmful he is to the video game medium in general. Because, like I said, his whole thing about how games should stop focusing on gameplay and be more about emotions and story and all that shit. Again, it's like I've said various times before. So basically, David, what you're telling me here is we've created this brand new medium that can do all these cool, different things that film and books cannot do. And
you want to restrict it.
And your idea is to take away everything that makes the gaming medium unique so that we can instead have a poor imitation of film. I'll just say this. If you think that the only way games can be art is by pretending to be movies, then you are not an advocate for video games as an art form. In fact, you are the exact opposite. You are saying that video games can only be art by pretending to be movies. You are harming the medium more than any Call of Duty or shameless sequel, whatever the hell David Cage heads on, will ever do. And look at that, Lips. There you go. Half-Life free.
Oh no, it's Passengers.
I don't see Chris Pratt in here.
Outer door, non-functional. What does it mean?
Maybe the fact that...
I'm still not letting that go, by the way.
No, Dwebs. Don't ever
Yeah, basically, Shuri, that's the dumbest line I've ever heard in a movie.
What?
A door non-functional, and then another character says, "What does that mean?"
What do you think, you
Okay.
moron?
It means exactly what it means. That
So yeah, that's the only thing I. But yeah, go back to what I was saying. That's the only thing I have as against David Cage as a person. For all I know, outside of that one aspect, for all I know, he's a really nice guy. For all I know, so whatever.
Yeah, when you said console, I thought this game was going to pull a chappy and have that machine powered by PS4s.
wait, what? That happens?
Yeah,
Let's
basically, Shuri, in Chappie, there's a machine that's powered by there's a machine that can transfer human consciousness from human to robot, and it's powered by PS4s.
Yeah, and Fan Stick did the same thing, but with Nintendo 64s. I'll just say this. Person of Interest Season 5 did that much better, because they actually basically there's a don't worry this by saying this I'm not spoiling anything really. Basically there's a specific point in Person of Interest Season 5 where they do something like that, specifically with fat PS3s, the original fat model. However, in Person of Interest's case, it's actually legit, because they actually base it on an actual real thing that happened. In fact, let me get it so I can show it to you guys.
I mean, in terms of films, not TV shows, but films. When has that ever not been stupid?
That's the thing, Dwibs.
Okay.
Technically, it is possible for a tech-savvy person to have a lot of consoles power something. It just has to be done by someone that understands the basic tech of it. And like I said, the Person of Interest actually based it on an actual real thing that happened. And let me get it real quick.
Let me put it like this, dude. It makes sense that you could use like a lot of those PS3s, since that was used in real life. The problem is that with Chappie, they suggest that just one PS4 is enough to channel someone's life.
I thought it was a whole row of PS4s.
Pretty sure it was just one.
No, it was a couple more. Here we go. There you go. Here we go. Basically, this was on Reddit. Someone posted this on Reddit when they were discussing the first episode of Season 5 of Person of Interest, and someone was like, by the way, that whole PS3 cluster thing, that's actually a real thing. And don't worry, audience, you can see it, but I'm about to describe it to you, because who the hell cares, and this is boring. Okay, basically what happened was the US Air Force connected 1,760 PlayStation 3s to build a supercomputer. It's the 33rd largest supercomputer in the world right now, and it's powered by Sony PlayStation 3s. It's called the Condor Cluster, and it's capable of performing 500 trillion floating point operations per second. So yeah, everybody, the US Air Force has a supercomputer powered by fucking PlayStation 3s. It's actually real.
Yeah, and that's kind of awesome. Now again,
like I said, the Person of Interest episode thing is actually based on this.
Could you imagine if in the future people power their houses with that? I mean, for example, hey Shiri, did you manage to replace your central heating system with a PS4?
Yes.
Basically, audience, just real quick. Go ahead.
No, hey Jova, how do you manage to power your cooker?
My electric cooker? Why, it's simple. I use my Game Boy Advance.
Alright, audience. Basically, audience, if you want to read about the article yourself, search for US Air Force PlayStation 3 on Google, and you should be able to find it. The site is fhys.org. You should be able to find it fine if you manage to Google what I just said earlier. So.
US Air Force.
US Air Force. Anyway, Dwibs, honestly, like, I could probably literally use my old laptop as a means for central heating.
See, here's another thing
Now, believe it or not, here's another stupid thing about this. This is kind of spoiling the ending final boss. I mean, okay, not the ending final boss, but this is kind of
spoiling it. Say more foreshadowing.
Well, okay, yeah.
Not
it's
very good foreshadowing, but it's there.
very vividly foreshadowing the final level. When we originally did this playthrough, I didn't know why Pedro said it was probably better to skip it, but having In the ending, yeah, you can tell this is an obvious setup for it.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think Fraser said it also very well in his playthrough that the video game's awesome people did.
By the way, this is stupid. So this is just that somebody just needs to stay behind and do stuff on the keyboard.
But don't you see, Jova? They established specifically that those ghosts are there and will kill anyone who comes near it. So
here's the problem: why aren't there any dead bodies here? Seriously, the lack of dead bodies suggests that everyone just ran instead of trying to shut things down.
Well, the scientists we just saw.
They didn't think to have.
Oh no! It's gonna blow! No, it's not.
Look at that, guys. The machinery looks like hands.
And yeah, what I was saying was, I think Fraser pointed out very well in the video games I also played for that. It's also a sad part because we've already seen the big menace of this game. Like, we know what they look like, and they're not that impressive. So honestly, what little tension could there be in terms of fighting these things is now completely gone because Aiden can just kill them anyway. So why should I be why should I be scared of these things?
Because Pedro, Aiden may be gone now.
Oh yeah, right. But I never understood this scene. Now suddenly, for some reason, Jodie can't detect Aiden, even though he's still there. And don't worry, this scene doesn't go anywhere because in just a couple seconds, Aiden is there, and she's like, "Oh, I thought I lost you," and then the scene just ends, and they never go back. Granted, this is foreshadowing one of the things that happens at the end of the game, but at the same time, it still doesn't make any sense within the context of we have right now. Because if Aiden is still there, you should be able to sense him. I mean, seriously, what is up with this scene? How does this even work?
I guess it's for the sake of the scene itself.
Emotional contrivance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need something sad at the end. What can we do?
It's right, we're near the end.
This is the end.
Basically, we could name this Dwibs's Energy Trainee or something.
Willem's face.
You okay, dude? That's basically his
Nathan, why do you go where I can't follow?
I don't know what's worse, this or Speed 2.
No. This.
I mean, okay. Look, honestly,
Speed 2 was fun. I don't care what you say.
I agree. I mean, honestly, the only problem Speed 2 may have had was, I guess,
that climax was fucking amazing. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, and honestly,
well, the whole premise was a bit stupid.
Well, honestly,
that's what was enjoyable to me. The fact that it was so gloriously stupid.
Honestly, I kid you not. If that movie had not been a sequel to Speed, it would have probably been received leagues better anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's its only real problem is, not being that good a sequel. But as its own movie, I'd say it's amazingly over the top.
All right, we've that was beyond the tune in for part 6.
See it.
See you, buddy.